AskReddi by Robin Hood. Owners of Volkswagen Beetles, how do you feel knowing that when you drive your car, countless people punch each other for being the first to see it? Driving next to a school is priceless. All the kids punching each other never fails to make me laugh. I had a vice principal who drove a Beetle. I knew she was evil, but I never thought about it like that. It's one of the reasons I got it. I like this thinking. I take a joyride not for myself, but for the tradition. You telling me it's not a joy to see people punching one another at the sight of your car? Incredible. I drive by elementary schools on their recess when I'm feeling down and watch the chaos ensue. Suddenly I want a Volkswagen. I have no siblings, and so I got into a violent altercation in elementary school when a kid decided to teach me that game with no warning. Edit. Violent altercation equals flailing and crying sorry for not being rigorous with my language. Y'all, I was like 6. I hope you apologized and offered him a tasty Hertz donut. It was always funny to see it happen. Like sitting at a stoplight and the 12-ish-year-old girl slugging the crap out of maybe her older brother. You could see the gleam in her eyes as she punched him in the arm. I sold my bug several years back. I miss that car. Maybe they'll bring them back to the States in another 10 or so years. Unfortunately, they actually cancelled production of the whole Beetle line as of last year, I believe. I had a buddy that would drive laps around the JR in his fucking sadist Lamfeo. I used to have a Beetle, and it was hilarious. Anytime you drove past kids, you'd always see one get excited and hit the others. Never hard enough to injure or anything, just good light-hearted fun. Wait. We weren't supposed to slug each other as hard as possible? Drove my first car, VW Super Beetle, past a bus stop. Saw a fist fight break out. I've seen that happen without a Beetle in sight. A wake of violence follows my 2007 Silver Shoulder Bruiser. I haven't seen happy children in years. Also, the dashboard is insanely huge, and it smells like crayons. Also, someone stole my plastic flower 7/10. Yes. I drove one for years and always told people it smelled like crayons. It's such a specific smell. I miss that car. I used to drive a bug. Nothing gave me a greater sense of power than one time at a stoplight I saw one kid deliberately pound his friend in the arm. Few men know such power. As I drove off, I laughed at the heavens. For a moment I was God, and my wrath was felt. I was God once. I saw. You were doing very well, until everyone died. It makes my day. 1976 Beetle as my daily ride. Also, lots of peace signs and thumbs up. It's my happy place. You are living my dream. I've never been a car person, but whenever the topic of dreamed cars comes up, I say mine is a 70s bug. Someday. When I was in middle school, the school bus would drive by a used VW car lot. It was like Fight Club on wheels. Best description ever. We do this with minis in my country. There aren't anywhere near enough Beetles here. Deleted. I have a 10-year-old stepson who loves to punch my arm right between the shoulder and bicep. You know the spot, with his bony little knuckles on my bony little arm. He knows it pisses me off a little, but he does it anyway. Good thing I love him. Question. Do owners of VW Beetles play punch bug? And who do they punch when they walk out of the house in the morning and see their car? Do they have to go back in and punch their sore kids? So you are referring to the punch bug game. I'd like to submit my own entry. The PT Bruiser game, same concept, different car. Cruiser Bruiser. Combine it with slug bug. Just say which one you're punching them for double the fun. I have a 1972 Super Beetle and it's yellow. My favorite thing is when driving around and noticing all the people hitting their friends and loved ones because I'm rolling past. It's the little things in life. I never heard about this. Deleted. I've been driving Beetles on and off for almost 30 years. Honestly, it was much worse years ago. Now kids just look at it like it's a spaceship or something. It's just a rolled VW. They are cars. Drive the hell out of them and rebuild them again. I just taught my daughter about slug bugs this summer. It has been a really tough year for us, but slug bug has been a highlight. I don't actually slug her, she's 8. Wait, we aren't supposed to slug our kids? People that drive VW bugs just think it's normal for others to be abusing each other in the car. My mom drives one and every time we see another one on the road she punches me in the shoulder as hard as she can. Gonna be honest, it isn't nice. Never heard of that one. We used to do yellow cars. Anything yellow we would punch. Then double numbers on license plates would be a punch and triple would be a kick. I have a yellow car with triple number on license plate. It has some special punishment. What kind of punch car games does what country have? In the Netherlands we punch each other when we see a Twingo. I assume that the Beetle punch game is something American? Yep, kids around here say punch buggy, no punch back when you hit someone. But I think people also say slug bug or sluga bug, like a regional thing. A friend of mine had a bug 20 years ago. We were definitely cognizant of this fact. Always pointed it out when we noticed. Deeply satisfied. I got it painted neon green specifically so nobody will miss it. Did you know slug bug was originally invented by Nazi-era Volkswagen in an effort to make American arms slightly less functional? All they managed to do was toughen up one arm of little brothers everywhere. Former Beetle owner. I was too busy working overtime hours to pay for repairs to worry about that. Never buying a Volkswagen ever again. They got my money twice but never again. Got my daughter a diesel bug for her birthday, old and high mileage, and the first thing she said, I'm going to drive by all my haters and wait to see them get punched. It was a proud mom moment. We do it with Renault Twingos. Not fun. This one time when we were heading for an away football match, 12 kilometers far, we encountered over 150 Twingos. Quite a popular car over here. Why do people punch each other for seeing a Beetles? For fun, because we like to be given an excuse to punch people we wouldn't actually punch. Even worse if it's a yellow Volkswagen Beetle. I heard in Russia you have to dislocate their arm if someone sees one first. That's why my aunt always holidays in Russia. What the fuck? I'm older, so we played punch big and pinch bug. Punch for a Beetle, the old ones, and pinch for a VW bus. My dad and uncle, still children at heart, came up with pinch bunny for Volkswagen rabbits. My father owns a 1968 Beetle, and when I asked him he said, proud that such a modest little car can incite such violence in otherwise normal people. Finally relevant. My first car was a bright red 98 Beetle. My dad surprised me with it when I was just shy of 19. I was stoked. First thing I learn when I drive to show my friends that I finally have a car and they don't have to take me home anymore. My bud gets in and drives it and peels away and into a perfect 180 brake spin in the middle of the road and just laughs hysterically and said, the turning radius is legit, it's actual science. There was a perfect amount of silence as my heartbeat slowed down and my 3D said, it totally smells like crayons in here, dude. We no longer play this game. The Great Punch Buggy Truce was confirmed in 2011 and has yet to be broken by either nation. Since the dawn of the punch buggy war, when newer ones were worth 1 punch and originals were worth 5 to the final battle of that one dealership we drove by that had, like 20 old ones outside, the truce shall not be broken and must, for our kids' sake, be honored. I love my Beetle. Once while driving through a parking lot I saw a kid, maybe 9yo, with what looked like maybe his grandfather. I saw his face light up when he saw my car and immediately turned and punched the older guy in the nuts. It was like a reflex. Immediately after, his face changed to "what have I done" expression. I laughed the whole way home. I owned a Beetle in high school and college. It was genuinely sometimes the thing that made my day a little better if it was shitty. Just so many little kids seeing their eyes light up and then immediately punch their sibling. Amazing, especially when you're behind a school bus. I have started full-blown brawls and maybe ended a few friendships. Heavy sigh. I can't do slug bugs without someone crying "oh www. That hurt. WTF, I barely even touched you." Takes all the fun out of it. I stopped playing it with my sister because she liked to wear rings. In the Philippines, we call this pagan pass, meaning turtle passing by. The first to say that phrase taps the heads of the others. I never thought about it that way. I just always thought it was weird that other VW bug owners give you a hand wave like motorcycles do. I mean, it makes sense, but apparently I'm in a gang. I delivered pizzas in a red Volkswagen Beetle and it was awesome. Headlights went out all the time though. When I was a kid my mother drove a wood-paneled caravan. She looked up as soon as she heard beaver slug. There was a fist fight between the two men. The man who gave the beaver slug lost and his buddy, the receiver of said beaver slug, had to help him up. It's a vulgar display of power, but it's fun as hell. Seriously though, the best part about owning a Beetle, I have a 1972, is that you make friends everywhere you go. The car stirs up so many memories for people and I love it when they take the time to share them with me. So funny to see people do this. I honestly forget it's a thing until I see it happen, then I'm like, oh, that was because of me. Literally amazing. I bought a 2019 Beetle and then found out this year that was the last generation, so I'm pretty proud of my little car. I always feel so confident driving around because I know everyone is always looking out for Beetles. Makes me feel good. Why do you think I wanted a VW bug in the first place? I used to have a bug convertible. I had big pink flower magnets all over it. I had huge sunglasses on and a giant fake ponytail in a bun on my head. I was in the parking lot at a Walgreens and this little girl was staring at me. I think she thought she was seeing a real-life Barbie. She walked right into one of those giant columns made of bricks. Face first. Giant smack. She of course immediately started sobbing. And her sister just stared at me like, look what you just did. It was equal parts shameful, shocking and hilarious. Adults punching each other? Didn't ever care. Possibly breaking a child's nose? I still feel bad to this day.